What up? It's Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, depending what time zone you're in, it's Sunday night or Monday morning. And to my Monday morningers, I know this is not our favorite day of the week, but as you know already, I always have a good show to help you get you through your Monday morning blues. I got y'all, all right? All right, I have a great show set up for you guys today. I have one lead story. We're going to kick it off by giving you a recap of day 32 of the Sean Diddy Combs trial. Friday was closing arguments for the defense. We were there. We gave you a full recap on our YouTube page. Go check out our live. Today, I'm going to give you a quick wrap up of the trial, let you know what I think of it, what I think the decision may or may not be. As you guys know, or some of you who might not know, we have been inside the courtroom covering the trial 7 o'clock in the morning, lunchtime, and at the end of the day, 7 a.m., 12, and around 3 or 4. You can check it out live on our YouTube page. This is why we have missed some days of our normal Trent Out Loud podcast show. We apologize for that. Hopefully, we will be back this week to our regularly scheduled programs. Yeah, I can't even talk. I haven't done the show in a while. All right, so that is our one lead story and our apology for missing some last week. Also, in quick news, we're going to talk Candace, Owens, Tyler Perry, Jay-Z, Porsha, Beyonce, Cardi B, Rats in NYC, Nelly, Jeff Bezos, Drake's New Orleans escape inmate, and Donald Trump compliments an African reporter. As always, we're going to close out the show with comments of the day, social discussion of the day, question of the day, and a little bit of sports news. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, your radio, your devices up. Yes, I'm back. I'm about to start this show. Let's go. Our first lead story. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Sean Diddy Combs' trial has officially wrapped up. It is over. Monday morning, the judge will charge the jury, meaning that he will give the final instructions to the jury, wrap up the case in a pretty bow, and give it to the jury, and the jury will begin deliberations. We will be in the courtroom live from the beginning of the day of the jury instructions. We will jump out and let you guys know around, I'm assuming around lunchtime, around 11 or 12, I think everything will be done. And we'll let you know of anything that has come that's different than we have already predicted. And a lot of people are saying, you see some people online, yeah, we're going to get a verdict Monday. I think it is a very, very slim chance that we get a verdict on Monday, but of course, we'll be there live and let you guys know. For those of you who have not been following our lives, go to our YouTube page, Trent Out Loud, and just click that live button. You do not have to catch us live. It will be recorded there in the live section. Or yes, hopefully, if you do catch us live, that is even better. So what I wanted to do today is give you guys just a quick synopsis of my experience inside the courtroom. I already gave a very lengthy description, evaluation, grade, as you might want to call it, to the defense's closing argument, which was Friday afternoon. I thought they did a great job on Diddy's behalf. A lot of people were not happy with Mark Agnifalo's closing argument. They thought that he went too far. I did say in my Friday episode, I think even the title was like, yo, Diddy's defense team takes risks with his life. Mark went above and beyond. He took risks. He made Cassie out to not be a victim. He made Diddy almost kind of look like a victim. But he is there to do what he feels is best for his client, to get his client off of the charges and have him go home to his family. And that's one of the lines that he said. And I feel from that perspective, I think he did a good job. Tomorrow morning on my live at 7 a.m., I'm going to break that a little bit more down. I have did a lot already on Friday, but after the weekend, after things have settled, there's a couple of things more I want to say. I'm not going to go into it at length here. I'm trying my best to separate and leave the Diddy stuff in the lives on YouTube and deal with other things in entertainment and viral news here on this podcast, but I also still want to give you guys a little window for those who are not catching it or for those who are just on podcast platforms, okay? Overall, though, it was a great experience for me personally, being in the actual courtroom. For those of you who don't know, there's of course, the actual courtroom. There are 14 spots for public content creators, YouTubers, TikTokers, 14 spots. And then there are 21 spots for legacy media, TMZ, CNN, ABC, NBC, etc. I'm one of the ones, the 14 on the YouTuber content creator side. Fortunate to have gotten a place. Shout out to the Connect. You know me, I don't name names. But what an experience, you guys. Like, what an experience. I literally sit at the front of the content creators, and that's our two benches. Then there's one bench for inside court press. And then Diddy's mom and his family, sons sit. And there's another row for family. And then Diddy's right there. So this is arguably the trial of the century, one of the biggest trials. They say OJ and maybe Weinstein and Diddy. So, top 5 American trials in history, or even at least top 3. And I am right there beside Diddy's mom, kids, and 10 feet away from Diddy. I see him every morning as he comes in. He says hi to all of us. He gives the heart signals. You guys have seen the artists when they're doing the paintings. For those of you who wonder why there's always sketches, this is a federal courthouse. You're not allowed to bring your phones inside. There's no cameras, no nothing. I have to check in my phone. That's why I have to go outside to do my lives. Nobody is allowed any cameras at all. So this is the advantage of having legacy media and new media be able to report this to you guys. We need to be in the courtrooms so that we can come outside and report to you guys what's happening. We are your eyes and ears. There is also an overflow room, and that is open to media and the public. As the days progress and it gets more and more attention, they'll open more overflow rooms. But the overflow rooms are literally just a camera, and it's like a surveillance camera. So you see Diddy and you get to hear what's going on, but you don't see the rest of the courtroom. They don't get to see the jurors. So the 35 of us that are in the courtroom have a bird's eye view of every single thing. And one of the things I try to describe during my lives and my YouTube lives is I'm trying to give you guys everything that I am seeing and everything that I'm hearing. Like I said, I'm one of 14 content creators that are in that room. So there's a Twitter feed that is, sending out what people are saying. At the end of the day, people get transcripts. So you can hear, but it's a very big difference of reading. Sorry, not hear, but you can read what the judges and prosecution and the lawyers have said. But there's a difference of reading on a paper versus giving you the emotion and feeling, right? It's like having a phone call with somebody versus meeting up and having a discussion in a room. So I really try to give you guys, like, this is what Diddy is looking like. His leg is shaking. He's saying something to his mom. He's passing notes back and forth with his daughters, which I thought was really cute on Friday. They're not allowed to be together or touch or whatever. So they sent little notes, and through their lawyers, I got to see one of the notes. It said, Daddy, I love you, and, a big heart. And he sent one to his nephew. So, regardless if you think Diddy is guilty or if he's a horrible person or whatever, or if you're on his side, he still is a father. He still is a son. And if you don't feel for Diddy, I'm sure you at least feel for his children and for his mother of what they're going through. I think that the argument to that is, Diddy should have thought about what he was doing in his day-to-day life. I mean to say, when Diddy was doing those things in his life or during the day or during a night, whenever he was doing this, he should have been thinking about his children, and he should have been thinking about the repercussions. So that's why I understand people that don't feel sorry for him, because nobody forced him to do these things. But at the end of the day, it's still hard to see, his 3 daughters, 3 sons, his mom and his family sometimes wiping away tears. That's the insight of the family. The other thing is just 2025 me being a YouTuber, sitting right beside TMZ, having a coffee during breaks, having conversations with people from CNN, from ABC. Shout out to ABC, and not singling anybody out, but ABC has some of the nicest staff, man. There's a lot of just really just nice, welcoming people there. Everyone has been very welcoming, but I've talked with a lot of the women from ABC. Again, I'm not going to say any names, but just been a really, really great experience. And to see the difference of how it would have been, 10 or 15 years ago, there wouldn't even be any spots or anybody wouldn't even acknowledge YouTubers or TikTokers or content creators. And to see that we're pretty much almost respected on the same level from their side and the courtroom and the security guards and just even like Diddy's people, his publicists and Diddy's team. It's just been amazing and such a great experience for me. I'm the only Canadian, although I do like to say that I'm Jamaican and Floridian, but I'm the only Canadian new media that's there. There is one other guy there from All Hip Hop Canada. He's a journalist, not going on camera. So I'm the only Canadian media that's there. Everybody's been super welcoming, and it's just been an amazing, amazing experience. I'm happy to be part of it. When this is talked about 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, I'll be able to tell my grandkids, like, Diddy walked in every morning and said, "What's up?" to me. You know what I mean? Like his mom was, if she makes a joke, "Trent, you look very nice today, Trent. Nice suit today." Like she's so nice. I held the elevator for her the other day as people were rushing. I was like, "Guys, hold on. Let's let Miss Combs come in first. This is her son's trial, So been very, very nice. Diddy's team has been very welcoming. His lawyers, very, very nice. The prosecution, they don't really acknowledge even the legacy media or us, so I have nothing bad to say about them. They're not as welcoming and as warm to anybody in the media. I feel they're just here to convict Diddy, and that's it. Whereas Diddy's teams, all of his lawyers speak to us, again, not about the case at all. They're not allowed to. And if you even try to say like, "Hey, good job today," they'll ignore you. But you could say, "How are you? Nice suit," or whatever. Anything that's not about the case is totally acceptable. Brian Steele, joke around with him every day. Good guy. Nicole Westmoreland, who is the black female lawyer. Xavier Donaldson, who's the tall black lawyer. Tenny Garagos. I was in an elevator alone with Tenny leaving the court. It was leaving the cafeteria. And I was like, "Oh gosh, it's going to be super uncomfortable because I can't say anything to her legally. I can't get her in trouble." So I just didn't say a word. I'm just going to respect the judge's gag order. And she said, what did she say? She said, "Oh, hi, I'm Tenny. I see you in court every day." And I'm like, "Trust me, I know who you are, but I just didn't want to say anything." She goes, "It's no problem." I'm like, "Hi, nice to meet you." She goes, "I see you in court every day. Thank you so much for being here." And I said, "Good luck today." She's like, "Thank you so much." I gave her my card. Super nice. Mark, I always forget his last name. Mark Agnifilo. Sorry, Mark. Mark Agnifilo. One time we were on a break and the lawyers get to leave first. Oh no, it was in the morning. And he was going outside and he stuck out his hand. I was not even doing it. He stuck out his hand. He said, "Thank you so much for being here." And it was like the day before his closing arguments. Like he was probably had so much going on and he took the time to be like, "Hey, I see you here every day. Thank you very much for being here." And I'm like, "Gosh, thank you for having me here." So anyways, just wanted to give you guys a little bit of insight of the courtroom. Just super nice. Diddy's publicist is there. And again, I know it's her job to, coordinate, be friendly with the media. At the end of the day, they want a positive outlook on Diddy, but has never said, "Can you say this? Don't say this." And there are some there are some YouTubers that are there that are completely against Diddy, that completely want him to go to jail and completely, see it through a certain lens. And Diddy's publicist is never rude, never saying anything, might not be as open, having conversations, but they don't want to have conversations with her either, So just all around, just a great, fun experience. We're in the cafeterias at lunch and at break, just everybody. So just shout out to everybody in the courtroom. Really good experience. And that's about it. As it comes to the end, there is no more testimonies. There's no more closing arguments. We will not hear anything from either side. If you guys want to hear more about my my views on the closing arguments for the prosecution and the defense, like I said, go over to the YouTube channel, or some of you who are already on YouTube, just go over and click the live and you'll see all the pre-recorded lives there for you to listen to. But all in all, really good experience. Monday, the jury gets charged. They get charging instructions. They get to start their deliberations. Now, just to close on jury deliberations and what to expect, anybody who tells you what's going to happen is really just stretching the truth, because nobody knows what's going to happen. They could come back with a verdict Monday afternoon. In the O.J. Simpson trial, they came back within 4 hours. There will be enough time on Monday. It is possible. I don't think it's likely that you get 12 different people, different minds from the Southern District of New York, men, women, black, white, minority. I think there's one guy who's disabled. He is on the one of the alternative jurors. You have a great mix of people. I really don't think they're going to get in there and say, all right, let's take a poll, and all will say guilty or all will say not guilty. And even if they are split, they have to take time to deliberate, talk, try to convince each other, go through evidence, go through pictures, go through video. And, they're supposed to take time and speak with each other and try, let's say it's 10 guilty and 2 not guilty. The 10 will try to convince the other 2 why they should come over to the guilty side, or vice versa. Experts say they feel like they will get a verdict before July 4th weekend. Most of the time, jurors, when it's coming to a weekend or when they're coming up to a holiday, even worse, they'll tend to want to come up with a verdict so they don't want to come back. I can tell you right now, 100%, that this jury is fed up and they don't want to continue coming back. For those who have seen my live, I have said repeatedly that the jury is tired by lunch. Some people are closing their eyes, they're stretching, they're moving. It's summertime. They don't want to be here. They're not making tons and tons of money. I heard they get a little stipend. It's really just their civic duty. They want to go home. So for that, I do believe it's a possibility that we get the verdict by July 4th. However, because of how extensive the charges are, and Diddy could be facing life in jail, I personally don't see 12 people rushing to a especially guilty verdict just because they want to not come back after the weekend, and just because they want to, travel or do something on July 4th weekend, especially if they want to find him guilty. I really don't feel they will rush. I personally feel if it is something that's quick, if it is something that's rushed, it's more like, I'm on the fence. I have a reasonable doubt, because just remember, all 12 jurors have to find guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. That word beyond is so important. Beyond a reasonable doubt. So if you have a reasonable doubt, like I have a reasonable doubt to not believe Jane. I have a doubt or a reasonable doubt not to believe this testimony or that testimony or the RICO or whatever. You have to cast your vote as not guilty. And I just feel like it will be easier to cast not guilty quickly than to send somebody to jail for the rest of their lives under RICO, just because you want to have a great July 4th weekend. That's just my 2 cents and all. So that is my recap. Oh, I forgot one thing. I really have to shout out Mark Agnifalo's wife, who I was sitting beside Friday afternoon during his closing arguments. I asked her, and I mentioned this too in my live, I said, what do you think about Mark's closing? I mean, if anybody knows him, you know him best. And she said, after all these years and after seeing all of these closing arguments, I think this is by far his best closing argument. So I thought that was big. I wanted to make sure I shared that with y'all. Like I said, tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. before court starts, I'm going to give you guys a little bit more of an insight onto why Mark took those risks in his closing argument, why he was okay with pissing some people off. I've seen a couple of people on ABC that were like, he made a mockery of the judicial system. He made a mockery of the prosecution's case, and she was very turned off. And like I said, Friday, they took a risk with Diddy's life because the fact that those closing arguments could have turned potentially some or maybe all jurors off. But I'll explain to you tomorrow why I still think it was a fantastic closing, why I think his wife thinks it was his best closing. So make sure you tune in for that Monday, 7 a.m. live on our YouTube. And if you miss it live, don't worry, it will be on our channel. Okay. So that is it for Diddy. Let's go over to quick news right now. All right, this brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. Our first quick story. Candace Owens says this: Trump's been a chronic disappointment, and I feel embarrassed that I told people to go vote for him. Candace Owens makes it clear that while she feels embarrassed for publicly encouraging others to vote for Donald Trump, she doesn't regret her vote. She said she still believes Trump was a better candidate than Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. Here is a quick clip from Candace. Take a listen.
Are you done with Donald Trump? Would you support him publicly again?
So I want to be clear. I don't regret voting for Donald Trump above Kamala. I think he was the better candidate, certainly a better candidate above Joe Biden. But what I will say is that he's been a chronic disappointment. And I feel embarrassed that I told people to go vote for him because this wasn't going to happen and it is happening. The picture of politics in America is going to look very differently because of his actions. So
the fact that Candace Owens is still calling Kamala Harris Kamala, did I just do that wrong? Anyways, you know the way that Donald Trump pronounces it. That just shows me that, she's still not to be trusted. You know what I mean? Like, this is the thing that, annoys me about Candace Owens. I just try to think of a way, how to mispronounce her name. Candace. The thing that makes me upset about Candace Owens is, look, when she was on the network that she was on before, she was super right-wing, conservative, Trump, right? And Kanye West, whatever. Now that she's not on that network, and I forget what the network is or was, anyways, it was super right-wing, and they fired her. And then she went on the Joe Budden podcast, she went on the Breakfast Club, and I feel now that as soon as Trump does something that is not super clear-cut popular, she's like, oh my gosh, she was a disappointment. And it just comes across to me as she's doing this for, her Black audience or minority audience because she now knows that she's on her own, no longer backed by a right-wing network. So she needs to, pander a little bit for the audience to kind of make up the money she's missing not being on the network. So while she's still trying to preserve the right-wing audience and her right-wing base, they have left a little bit. So she does things like this to try to bring some independents or some Democrats that might not be completely opposed to Donald Trump. And when you see things like that, it's how do you trust that person's opinion? You know what I mean? Whereas what I do, and I'm not comparing myself to Candace Owens or at all, and trust me, I have a lot of respect for her of what she's been able to build and the platform she's been able to build. But I think, and you guys have said this a bunch in my comment section, where I'm just going to call it how I see it. I'm not trying to pander for one side or the other. And that's why sometimes I get dragged by some of my viewers, and sometimes you guys applaud me. And I'm just telling you what I think that Donald Trump did, if it's good or if it's bad, or if Joe Biden did what's good or bad, or Kamala Harris, or whatever, even it's about Diddy or Diddy's lawyers or Diddy's or the prosecution team. And I just feel like content creators, whether you're small, medium, or big, we have to do, our due diligence to our viewers is to stay on the on a true path. And I feel like Candace Owens is slipping with that. So I don't know. Candace, if you're watching, be careful. Our second quick story. Christian Keys says he's done with BET's All the Queen's Men, cites disrespect, dismissive treatment, and unprofessional behavior on set. Christian Keys is airing it all out. The creator of All the Queen's Men says he won't be returning He won't be doing a spinoff with BET due to being treated dismissively behind the scenes. He claims folks were showing up for work on that Bob Marley and says out-of-pocket things. Even though the show was executively produced by Tyler Perry, Christian says the experience was just not it. Now, we have talked to you guys about Tyler Perry and Christian Keys being allegedly the first person who came out and said something about a director and a movie exec with a very, very distinct voice. Didn't name Tyler Perry, but we do know that, or people assume that he was talking about Tyler Perry. I forget the name of the gentleman who just filed a $260 million lawsuit. And since that lawsuit has been filed, Christian Keys has been like, his name has been popping up. Now the fact that he's not going to be continuing on BET lets me know that we might be getting a new Tyler Perry lawsuit coming up. There's something working. If he is turning down work and not going back to BET, that's because he has some other things in the work. Who knows if Tyler Perry might reach out to him in the background and be like, bro, listen, please don't say anything more. It maybe pay him off silently. I'm sure there are probably some negotiations. Like I tell you guys, the only time that we hear about civil lawsuits in the media is when they're not agreeing on a settlement. So I have reason to believe there may be some talks, and we'll see if they can come to a number. If not, I predict a second Tyler Perry lawsuit. Stay tuned. Our third quick story. Oops, leaked video shows Desiree Perez admitting things aren't going well at Roc Nation. A video has surfaced of Roc Nation CEO Desiree Perez keeping it a little too real behind the scenes, revealing that things aren't looking good for the label. From the looks of it, everything ain't as solid as it seems. What do you guys think is going on with Roc Nation? All right. I've watched the video one or two times, and I'm making the decision not to play it. It kind of looks like a little like surveillance video, like the camera is kind of a little high up and you see Desiree Perez from behind. The reason why I don't want to play it is that I don't feel like there's enough context. She's there talking about, having, 6 months left of cash flow and maybe not being able to pay some employees. And, how they were down $200 million a couple of years ago, finance people. And what I'm trying to say is this is normal business talk. From me and my experience, having a national brand in Canada, I've written 2 books about ups and downs about business. If you put this camera in any CEO's office or room or wherever they're talking at some point in their career, you'll hear about this where they're down millions of dollars. Their, payroll is an issue. They need financing. Like any business in the world would have a conversation like this. Look at Steve Jobs, look at Ted Turner, look at anything, Starbucks. So that's the reason why I don't want to play it, because there's no context to it. But the reason why I do want to bring it up is I have heard for the past couple of weeks that there is some rumbling about some things going on with Roc Nation. There's a couple of content creators that had made some videos that I watched. And I feel like, where there's smoke, there's fire. So there's something going on behind the scenes at Roc Nation. A lot of people in the industry feel like Jay and Desiree Perez kind of do some funny business behind the scenes, like Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion. Anybody who's on Roc Nation, you're like protected. And anybody that messes with their artist, they'll pull strings. Now, while that shouldn't come as a shock because your management company should have your back, I think one of a lot of things that people are kind of like not happy with is that they might be defending and pulling strings for people on their team and their roster that might be in the wrong. So I think that's what's kind of like rubbing people the wrong way. And Jay has a lot of pull, right? And I think maybe some people are getting fed up about that. The other sign that has me thinking is the fact that Jay-Z is allegedly putting out a new album. Jay-Z is allegedly going to be performing at next year's Super Bowl. And not alleged, but Jay-Z has popped out on Beyonce's tour in Paris. When Jay-Z starts popping out and when Jay-Z starts putting out hints of an album and Super Bowl, that lets me know that maybe some of these rumors might be right and they need an influx of cash. And where can you get an influx of cash from? From a mega superstar, arguably what some people say is the best rapper of all times. That's just some people's opinion. You got to let them rock with that. I say that as I wear a Biggie t-shirt, and last episode I wore a Tupac shirt, but I digress. It looks like Jay is like, all right, I need to go back on the road and hustle. You might see a Jay-Z tour. You might see Super Bowl. You might see an album out. And normally Jay, he's not popping himself out there like that anymore, right? He's getting of the age where you don't really see him doing these things. So I leave that information up to you guys. If I hear anything else, I'll let you know. But there's a potentially something going on with Roc Nation and the Jigga Man. Our fourth quick story. Simon says he 100% regrets marrying Porsha, claims he felt like she was targeting him from day one for financial reasons, and believes that she didn't pay his child support in good faith. I don't even know what that means. She's paid his child support. Anyways, y'all know that I don't really follow too much reality TV, but I did promise you guys a couple of months ago that I would do my due diligence and try to keep you guys up to date with some reality stuff. And I like Porsha. So I'll let you guys know quickly what Simon is saying. Simon is spilling the tea. He says that he regrets marrying Porsha and believes that he was targeted for financial gain from day one. In Page 6 interview, he claims he was totally blindsided by Porsha filing for divorce back in February 2024. After filing, he repeatedly asked for the reasons but didn't get an answer. That led him to reach out to Porsha's mother, and after not receiving a response from her either, he says he sent a text stating, "This was a $5 million rehab project I took on out of frustration." It didn't stop there. He went on to say he believes he was targeted from day one for financial reasons. After reminiscing about Porsha's sliding in his DMs following his divorce from his ex, saying that he was in a vulnerable position at the time, so he entertained it. All right, I don't know anything about what I just read because I don't know how Porsha slid into his DM. I don't know who he was divorcing, and I don't understand about the $5 million rehab. Y'all know me. When I don't know about something, I don't talk about it. But I'll resort to you guys, as I always do when I don't know something. Let me know in the comment section below. Is what Simon's saying is true? Did Porsha slide into his DM when he was getting divorced? Was she really after his money? What's really good? Whose side are you on, Simon or Porsha? Let me know in the comment section below. Our fifth quick story. Beyonce pauses show after issue with prop vehicle mid-air. Cracks jokes as soon after safe landing. Here's a video. Take a look.
Oh my gosh, look at Julius.
Yo, this is Beyonce Knowles Carter. How do you guys mess that up? This is nuts. I don't know if I'm just over-exaggerating, but I feel like there has been more wardrobe malfunctions and safety issues with this Beyonce Carter Cowboy tour than ever before. Literally, this is like the third or fourth one. And normally Beyonce never stops a concert for anything. I mean, wasn't it just like last week or something? She had a wardrobe malfunction and her pants dropped. My girl was like singing. Da, 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 da. She kept on going. The dancers came, pulled it back up, and was doing all of this stuff. Yo, we got to protect Beyonce at all costs, y'all. This is crazy work. We do have word that she is okay, and we do have word that she is going to continue with this car in air. Apparently, there's going to be a new one or something that somebody told me, but it will continue. But I'm sure that the person whoever made this mistake was fired before she even reached the ground. But y'all protect Queen Beyonce Knowles Carter. Our sixth quick story. North Carolina, come on, raise up. North Carolina rapper claims Cardi B's new track sounds similar to her own. She said, "I rock with Cardi, but it just sounds too similar." Here's a quick video. Take a listen.
You're not going to be able to tell me that no, and even if it wasn't the artists themselves, even if it wasn't Cardi herself, somebody on that team heard the song. Yes, it is a common saying. Yes, say outside. I'm not discounting, I'm not discrediting that. But the coincidence for you to say outside and the beat sound the same, to me, that's too close. Somebody heard it and was like, I could see where they was trying to go with this. Let's take it here.
All right. Obviously, I cannot play either of the songs for copyright reasons, but let me tell y'all something. I love Cardi B. I'm not a huge fan of the song. I think it's great, but I don't think it's a Cardi lead single, like a WAP or something like that, but still a solid single. But however, the songs sound identical. Like, this is like a complete copy, like not just the outside, not just the flow, but the beat. And I heard Cardi allegedly had like a comment to say about it before one of her videos, and she just started out her video saying like, I hear y'all talking, but yeah, whatever, and then just kept on going. Like she's not even acknowledging it. Cardi, I don't know if you were aware that maybe it wasn't her song, and maybe the producer just gave her the same track and gave you and didn't tell you, and you thought maybe it was like a ghost vocal. For those of you who don't know, let's say a producer has a song and he has an idea and a concept that he wants to present to like Beyonce or Jay or somebody big. Instead of just trying to imagine what it's like, he'll have just a normal artist that will just sing ghost vocals to just give the artist an idea of what they sound, of what the song sounds like or how they want them to flow on the song. So I think maybe Cardi didn't know that this song was out and it was from like an official, other rapper from North Carolina, but the songs sound identical. If y'all heard it, weigh in on the comment section below, but Cardi might be in some trouble. Our seventh quick story. Another day, another bizarre MTA moment. Socialites, what would you do if you saw this on the train? Okay, I'm going to play of this video. This is a rat on the train. For those of you who watch my lives, you know why I'm playing this. Watch the video and I'll let you know why after. All right, take a look.
Yo, it's flying at Porsha. I've never seen it do that.
Okay, for those of you who watch my daily lives, every day after court, I go live for about like an hour and a half from around anywhere from 5 to 6 to around 7. Every day, there's a rat that runs across wherever I'm shooting. I always shoot at the same place. The first day, it totally freaked me out. I was like, oh my gosh, there's a rat. And I do not like rats or mice. The second day, now it's just like, yo, my homie's coming out to like watch the Trent Out Loud show. Like he wants to know what's going on in the case. It's crazy. Rats in NYC are like flies in other places or like mosquitoes. Like it's just normal day-to-day life. Like it's just normal. You see them on the train, you see them everywhere. And it's just, I hate that it's getting normalized to me because it just shouldn't be normal for you to just see a rat running around. Now, to be fair, I've not seen a rat climbing a pole inside the train, but now Monday morning, 4:30 or 5 o'clock, when I catch my train to go into Manhattan to go to the court, I'm literally going to be extra aware because although I've seen rats, I've never seen them actually on the train. Now I will not be able to rest in my way in because I'm going to be thinking there's going to be a rat doing a pole dance. I love New York. I hate the rats. I hate them. Our eighth quick story. Nelly says he never endorsed any president. He said, I have respect for the office. Oh my gosh. Nelly. Nelly is doing a press tour with Ashanti, and everybody is bringing up the time where he was performing for President Trump at the inauguration. And yo, Nelly, if you're performing, just say you perform. Like we're not dumb. Don't try to beat around the bush with us, Nelly is standing on business and making it clear he didn't endorse any president after he previously performed at President Donald Trump's inauguration Liberty Ball performance. When asked by Ebro if Nelly is still on his pro-Trump stance, the rapper said, See, this is what I'm saying. Where did you get pro-Trump? What I did was respect for the office. No, you performed for Donald Trump, bro. Like, I hate when people try to do this. Yo, this article is wrong. Nelly was not standing on business at all. He was standing on trying to take us for fools. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, do like what I was about to say do what Snoop did, but I think Snoop tried to do this too. Listen, if you attend, let's say like a speech to say, hey, I want to attend the speech so I can report to you guys what's going back, that is not an endorsement. If you do anything along the lines of being part of the event, that is an endorsement. If you take money and do something for the side, that is an endorsement. You don't have to come out and say, I endorse Donald Trump, but performing, being part of the team is an endorsement. What are you talking about? Anyways, I'm not even going to play the clip because I don't even want him to get into y'all heads. And I had a clip, but I won't. You perform, you're part of it. That's an endorsement. I am in the courtroom reporting to you what's going on. That doesn't mean I am Team Diddy. But if you ever see me, like, I don't know, dancing at a Diddy party on stage, then that is an endorsement. You see the difference? Even if I go to, let's say, a Diddy party to say like, hey, they're inviting people from the media to, interview or talk or whatever, that's not an endorsement. But if I'm hosting and handing out drinks or, doing handstands, that's an endorsement. Do you see the difference? Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. Our ninth quick story. Jeff Bezos spends $20 million on his wedding with Lauren Sanchez. $20 million on a wedding from somebody who's a multi-billionaire, one of the richest people in the world. Lauren, you got to get him to come up and spend a little bit more, yo. Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, has tied the knot with Laura Sanchez in a glamorous Italian wedding. The ceremony took place June 27, 2025 in Venice, Italy, amid a week of protest in the city. The couple got engaged in 2023 and exchanged vows this weekend, surrounded by 200 guests, including A-list celebrities like Tom Brady, Kim Kardashian, and Eva Longoria. Laura Sanchez wore a stunning lace dress gown designed by Dolce & Gabbana, while Bezos opted for a traditional tuxedo. The wedding festivities began on Thursday with a casual welcome event, followed by a lavish ceremony and reception. This marks Jeff Bezos' second marriage after his divorce in 2019. There has been protests. I have a little video. Take a look.
The company is doing more bad to society than good.
Jeff Bezos gets protests everywhere he goes. At this point, like, he doesn't even care. Like, you know what I mean? If you hate on Amazon, just don't use it. Done. Anyways, like I said at the top, somebody who's worth that much money, I don't know. I feel like I expected a little bit more, but maybe he's like, hey, this is his second marriage. Why do I need to spend a lot of money? And it's really just based on love. I don't know. Y'all let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Our 10th quick story. Drake allegedly had dinner with famed BBL and ab sketching surgeon Dr. Jung just weeks ago in Houston. From our sources, Dr. Jung, the surgeon known for BBL and ad sketching, allegedly had dinner with Drake 2 weeks ago in Houston. All right, sorry for reading that twice. I hate when like the comments are the same as the caption. I'm not the comments, but the title. All right, let me put up the full picture. Here's the full picture for you guys. Now, I didn't even want to talk about this. Last thing I want to do is talking about Drake's abs, but it is trending out there, so I wanted to fill you guys in. And what I wanted to say about this is, in February when Drake released his joint album with Party Next Door, I was like, yo, I made a joke in my intro and I'm like, yo, I'm leaving the Drake fan club. I'm no longer the president of the Drake fan club. And I had said that although I thought the album was good, Nokia was good, what was the other songs? I don't even remember now. I was like, this is not what we need after what just happened in the battle with Kendrick. I was like, yo, Drake needs to come out with a solo album. He needs to come out with an album that is like reminding everybody, who he is. And I needed to have him like own the top 10. Remember when he did that, when he released some album and he was like 9 of Drake's songs were in the top 10. And that's what we needed. It's not only for the music, it's for things like this that Drake does why I had to get out the fan club, man. And I still have the utmost respect for Drake. What he's done has been amazing. He's still one of my favorite artists musically, but making a move like this at a time like this, what are you doing? Like, I don't even care if he got fake abs, if he has a BBL, and people are dragging him saying the arms and the chest don't match the abs. And there's a video of him like jogging and you see his back, which somebody that used to do underwear modeling, and I understand what it takes to have your body to get to that kind of level. I see what they're saying. You don't have a 6-pack or an 8-pack of abs. For your abs to show that much, you cannot have your arms and chest and back look like that. It does look like you got, an ab sketching. But even if you did, the situation you're in right now, Drake, taking Universal to court, renegotiating to get $1 billion contract, Kendrick, potentially have you on the cusp of your career being over. You're taking selfies in the mirror with your abs that might be fake or might not be fake. Like that's what you're thinking about right now. That is what you're putting out to the world. And you can't say like, was somebody, let's say he was like working out in the park and somebody took that picture. I would say fine, but Drake took that selfie and Drake posted that. Nah, bruh. Nah. You see who I have on my shirt? B.I.G. You see how I had on my shirt before? Tupac Shakur. These guys would never do anything like that, man. Nah, Drake, man. I love you, bro. I do. I'll always have love for you. I will. But, things like this is why I had to, like, just step aside, bro. And, like, you have me thinking, Just my 2 cents. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. Our 11th quick story. Escaped New Orleans inmate Antoine Messi captured by U.S. Marshals after being on the run for 6 weeks. Now, you guys remember we've been following this story. I showed you the video of, I think it was 10 inmates that broke out. I think they caught 4 or 5 like the next day. And every week after, we've been hearing that they've been catching. Antoine was one of 2 that was left. He went on Instagram and made a post about saying why he ran. He is not guilty. The guard let him out and all of this mess. And we're like, bro, stop the madness. Boom, he has gotten caught. There is still one more person at large. I heard something about like that he's dressing up as a girl, like he grew out his hair and has like a weave and he's walking around like a girl, the one inmate that's left out. And I don't blame him, If I escape, I'd be walking around in drag all day. Trust me, I'd have a skirt, heels. You ain't tracking me down if I'm running. Anyways, the 9th inmate on the run for over a month has been captured in New Orleans. Oh, he's still in New Orleans? According to multiple outlets, Antoine Messi was captured this afternoon. This was from 2 days ago, by the way. So I guess he was captured Friday afternoon in Holly Grove neighborhood. Reports state that in 2019, he escaped from Morehouse Parish Detention Center and was found the same day in Texas. According to the news outlet, Massey also escaped from 2 jails, once in 2007, and broke out of 2 ankle monitors. This marks the longest period Massey has gone without being captured following an escape. This guy's just known to be an escape artist. What is going on? Derrick Groves, the last inmate, remains on the run. There we go. Derrick Groves remains on the run. All right, Antoine Messi is never going to see the light of day. He's going to be under maximum security. He's going to be like, it's over for him, man. Like, this is what, 1, 2, what, 3rd or 4th time? He ain't going to get no yard visits, no nothing. They're going to keep him locked up. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Our 12th quick story. Y'all here for it? Trump compliments African reporter. He says, "This is politically incorrect to say, but you're beautiful." All right. A lot of people are kind of on the fence about this, saying this is very inappropriate, that he shouldn't be saying this or talking to a reporter. She's a Black African reporter. She is beautiful. Anyway, some people are loving it, saying, hey, she's a beautiful woman, and he has no problem saying that. So I will play the video, and you guys be the judge for yourself. Take a look.
And that's so beautifully stated. And Caroline said, number one, she did say, and I shouldn't say this because it's politically incorrect, she said, she's beautiful, and you are beautiful. I'm not allowed to say that, that could be the end of my political career, but I say it anyway. But you are beautiful, and you're beautiful inside. So I wish I had more reporters like you. You covered Africa for a long time?
Yes, for over 10 years.
Wow.
I covered even your first administration.
People are also dragging her wig and saying that her wig looks just like Donald Trump's. And that's why Donald Trump thinks she's beautiful. Woo! I think it's really hilarious. Look, my 2 cents on this is Donald Trump is being Donald Trump. It's not the first time he's made comments like this. I think some Black people or minority people are liking it because it's like, hey, he's looking at a dark-skinned African woman saying that she's beautiful. Some people are saying that this is kind of like that old school mentality where he's saying that, but he really doesn't mean it. I don't want to say the word of what this is, but think about the 18 or 17 or 1600s. I don't know. I'll stay outside of this one and let you guys know, and you guys let me know what you think in the comment section below. All right, y'all. My favorite time of the day is finally here. Comments of the day. Wow, I held that long in this kind of like acapella. Ooh, sounded nice. Comments of the day. All right, before we start comments of the day, y'all know that I have a very, very important question for you. Is your computer, laptop, or cell phone vulnerable to data breaches? Well, let me answer that question for you. Yes, they are if you're not using Aura, the all-in-one digital security platform. Go to my comments or go to my the link below, aura.com/Trent Out Loud to get a free, I accentuate, free 14-day trial to see if any of your data has already been exposed. All right. If you ever wondered why scammers or how scammers get your cell phone number or why your inbox is filled with spam, here is why. There are companies called data brokers that sell your data, and they do it without your consent, making billions of dollars to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. That's why I recommend today's sponsor, Aura, to my family, friends, and loved ones. And also the Out Louders. Aura takes care of the hard part for you, automatically removing the your info office sites, and help keep it off. Aura is an all-in-one digital security platform. All right, I always make jokes when I'm reading this or whatever, but I always have to take at least 2 seconds out to let you guys know that I actually really use Aura. I actually send it to everybody in my family, and it is really great. If you use Apple Pay or you buy anything online, which I would say 95% of the people do, you are at risk of having some of your information, if not all of your information, leaked online on the dark web. And Aura, what they do is they put out these spiders, and they could literally find any of your information that's been leaked off online, take it off, and make sure it never goes back on. Many Out Louders have put it in the comment section or send me an email saying, yo, they had my social security number, they found my credit card or whatever, etc. Thank you so much for this. And the thing is that it is free. It is free for 14 days. And they will still remove all your information off. And it's up to you if you want to continue. That's what I really find cool about this. We're not selling you anything. I'm not selling you anything. I'm literally just giving you a free opportunity to see what Aura can do. If you feel protected and you feel like they did a good job, it's up to you if you want to continue afterwards. They have different plans, family plans or whatever. So it's really, really a good thing to go on, okay? With Aura, you get alerts if your personal information is found on the dark web, real-time fraud alerts if your credit card or banking information is found out online. They also give you a secure VPN, antivirus, password manager, and they have US-based support around the clock customer service, and they have the best customer service, trust me. If anything ever does go wrong, Aura also includes a $5 million identity theft insurance protection package. So if anything should happen in the event that something does go wrong, they also have an insurance package, which is unbelievable. All right. Like I said, go to the link below, click on it. I'll also put up the QR code here for you guys. Take out your phone and your camera, just point it at the screen. It will take you to my link. It is free. It is free. Just try it out. Try it out. Witness the amazement and then you can continue if you'd like. All right. Okay. So with that being said, I wanted to take out my favorite comment of the day. I have one for you guys today. This is from my live. Somebody actually captured it and sent it to me in my DMs. And for those of you who've never caught the show live or the reporting that I do live, people can put their comments while I'm on the screen, all right? They'll ask questions. You can send a super chat. Here you can send a super thanks in the comments below. On live, it's a super chat. So while I'm talking, there's a lot of things that are going through. I mostly only will see a super chat, or at the end, I'll try to go through. Don't ask me how I missed this one. And this person, MG Simpleton, said, "What's your OF?" Somebody was asking for my OnlyFans. I thought that was hilarious. I'm assuming it was a compliment to be like, hey, you look good. Maybe you should start an OnlyFans. I thought it was super funny. So shout out to MG Simpleton. Melva was actually there too. She was a daily listener. Shout out to Melva. She said, "See ya," but it probably was answering somebody else or saying answering somebody that I said. But anyways, I thought that was really funny. Y'all let me know. You think I should start an OnlyFans? What's up? You know, if this YouTube doesn't work out, who knows? Maybe I might. Anyways, I thought that was really funny. That was my comment of the week. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the super thanks. And also thank you to Aura for sponsoring the comment section. Thank y'all. All right, this brings us to social discussion of the day. Could you be happy living in a tiny home or van if everything else in your life was perfect? I'll read you a couple comments. Somebody says, in the process of renting out my house and getting a van now. Another person said, tiny home, yes, van, no. Another person says, as a person who has been a homeowner for a long time and has spent lots of money on constant repairs and upkeeping, I would say yes. To avoid the stress, yes. If it were somewhere safe that was cute, warm weather, cool in the winter, feeding my pockets to do other things, then yes. Okay, those are very long-winded yes. Another person said, for sure, if I didn't have all these kids. Tiny home, absolutely, yes. In a heartbeat, yes. Tiny home, yes. So I'm really surprised to hear a lot of yeses. I wanted to let you guys know and give you just a window into, my experience. Growing up, it was my dream to have a big house. I wanted to be super successful, have a bunch of rooms. And as you guys know, through my life's up and downs, I was able to obtain a lot of material things. I've been able to talk with you guys about it during social discussions. Particularly, that's what social discussions is all about. And but I think that I've also said to you guys a couple of times that I am single. I do not have kids. I've never been married, and I feel like I have regret. Even though I'm very, 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 very happy and proud of the success that I was been able to obtain and the material things that I've been able to obtain. However, I realize now that I'm more mature and older that I would trade in all my material things for a family and kids, and to have that love and to just have that right person, And I always say the perfect person. But not the perfect person, but the perfect person for me, because nobody's perfect. But I feel like I would love to find a perfect person for me, and I would be that perfect person. And I feel like when you find that, and when you have that relationship and you have that bond with somebody, that the material things are like so irrelevant, Even when I had the stores and I had a condo in Toronto and I would be going up there, I would say pretty much half my time, or maybe even a little bit more time in Toronto. I'd be up there like 4 days a week, and in Montreal 3 days a week. And even in my condo, which wasn't tiny, but I mean, it wasn't a condo compared to the house I have back in Montreal. And I would actually feel a little bit more coziness and a little bit more calm in my condo versus my big house. And like I said, totally not regretting any of my life choices. I feel like God always has a plan and you're supposed to be where you are. And I'm grateful for everything I was able to obtain. But I just wanted to point it out here to anybody who's not a homeowner or anybody who has aspirations to have, a luxurious lifestyle. You have these sayings where people say, I would rather cry in a Ferrari than to be happy in a Civic. Trust me, that is 100% equivocally wrong. Don't wish to be crying in a Ferrari. Always wish to be happy and always wish to have somebody and something, because when you're alone in a big house, it gets lonely, it's stressing, it's just not what you think it is. And the first month or two, sure, you have all these rooms, all these bathrooms, or a backyard or a basement, and you have all of this stuff and you have cars, but it ends up just being a house at the end of the day. And you're one person. How many bathrooms do you really need? Like, how many cars do you really need? And you get from point A to point B the same way that you would in a Civic or a Lamborghini. So that's just my 2 cents. I'm happy to see a lot of people said tiny home, but I don't know if they're saying it for those reasons. So I want to give you guys my 2 cents and let me know also what you think if you would give up having a big house for a tiny house, but you have everything else in life, a family, loved ones, somebody who you could, tell your fears to, who you could be vulnerable with, who you could, feel like that has your back when the world's against you. That's always most important. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to question of the day. You're outside in 2009. What song is playing? I don't know how people remember what songs came out in 2009, so I'm gonna stretch this. Tell me what is your favorite song up till 2010, okay? It could be 90s or anything in 2000s, because I would have no clue what song dropped in 2009. This first person, I'm sure Googled, because how do you remember all of this? But somebody says, Drake, Best I Ever Had, Jaheim, Birthday, SEX. Ooh, remember that song? Birthday, so good. Lil Wayne, Lollipop, classic. Jamie Foxx and T-Pain, Blame It. That was so good. That came out 2009. Knock You Down, Carrie Hilson, classic. Waka Flocka, No Hands. Miguel, Sure Thing. Break Up by Mario. Drake, Trey Songz, Successful. Maybe this person is maybe saying what I was saying, that's anything up till 2009. Playa's Busted Baby. Young Money, Bedrock. Oh, that was so good. That was like young Nicki Minaj, young Drake. Tip Whatever You Like. You could have whatever you like. That was so good. All right. Next person said Drake, Best I Ever Had. Another person said Jaheim. Another person said Rockin' That Thing, Dream. Somebody said, Damn, I missed 2009. Throw It in the Bag, Fabulous and The Dream. Throw It in the Bag. I think I remember that song. Somebody said 2009 was Young Money Summer. Sorry for the ambulance guys, New York City. Aston Martin Music, so good. Ice Cream Paint Job. Oh, yes, I remember that song. Quarter Brick. Carrie Hilson, we already said that. Bedrock. YG, Tooted and Booted. Wow. Max B. Fergie, Glamorous. How did that go? Something glamorous. Glamour. That was so good. What else is here? The Whole Return of Boosie. 50 Cent, Baby By Me. You could have a baby by me, baby. Be a millionaire. Take Us Back. No Ceilings, Lil Wayne. What else? Lemonade, Gucci. Rihanna, Tip, Live Your Life. That was so good. Chris Brown. Halle Berry. Oh, that was hilarious. Nicki Minaj, Everything. Really good. It was a really good time, man. Yeah, it was so good. Somebody says, I can't remember. Please take me back. Somebody said, I missed the old Gucci. Destiny's Child. Remember Destiny's Child? All right. Y'all let me know what they missed out on. 2009, you're outside. What you playing? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to sports news. The New York Knicks are reportedly in talks with Dawn Staley to become their new head coach. If hired, she would make history as the first woman to lead an NBA team. Yo, I am so all for this. Yo, I love Dawn Staley, and I'm just here. Y'all know me. I'm here for women making strides in anything, especially sports. One of my goats, who I think is probably arguably the best athlete ever of all times, is Serena Williams. Yes, I joke around. I said that I love her and I want her to be my baby mama, and I do mean it. But she is the only professional athlete to win a major or Grand Slam pregnant. Just saying, Michael Jordan never did that. That's why she's my favorite. Somebody wrote, I cannot properly express to you how effing perfect of a fit Dawn Staley as the Knicks head coach would be, logistically, culturally, and personality-wise. This would be cinema. So good, man. So good. I really hope they can make it work. I think it would be a perfect match. Yeah, so good. Charlemagne just put out Dawn Staley's book. I want to get my hands on it. Sharp, send me a copy of the book, yo. Anyway, shout out to Dawn Staley and New York Knicks. I hope they're able to work it out. Just for the history of all, would be amazing. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for kicking it with me. Again, sorry that I missed a couple episodes last week. I'm not even going to promise that I'll get to every episode this week. Like I've been telling you guys, I got to wake up at around 3:30, 3:45. I get back after doing 3 lives. And sometimes it's just hard to muster up the energy to get the 4th one out, this recorded one to you guys, and then be up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, it's just sometimes hard. I was doing it without getting any sleep, and then I'm in the courtroom the next day, like trying to stay awake, and I'm here to cover the court, right? So I thank you guys so much for rocking with me. And I did this episode for you guys because I did want to take the day and chill, but I was like, yo, y'all are always riding with me. I always see you guys in the comment section. I see a lot of you guys also in the lives. Shout out to Tasha and DJ from Gaston, North Carolina. Come on, raise up. You guys, like, I see everybody. Melva, even Mars, my cousin, Sheridan. So thank you all for rocking with me and understanding. If I don't always, I'm sorry if I forgot anybody else's names. I don't even know if I pronounced Tasha's name wrong, but we good people, yo. They'll forgive me because we North Carolina. Anyways, like I said, I will try this week to stay on the schedule. Hopefully, if they wrap the jurors and they send them home by 3 o'clock, that's fine. But if I end up, only getting back at 8, then I won't have the time. So thank you guys so much for riding with me. I did this episode for you guys, okay? Also, shout out to Aura one more time. I'll put up the QR code for those who want to sign up or the link below. Again, it's free for your own protection. Find out if any of your information has been leaked on the dark web. If you found out that nothing has leaked, all the more power to you. You don't have to continue. If you do and you want some protection and you want to keep the security, then you can continue after 14 days. All right. So shout out to Aura for sponsoring the Trent Out Loud podcast in the comment section. And lastly, as always, before I let you guys go, just want to remind you of all the ways to keep up with the Trent Out Loud podcast. For those of you who are used to watching the show on YouTube and you're ever going on a flight or on a road trip and you don't have access to the internet, have no fear because we're available on all podcast platforms. You can download the show and take us with you. Just go to any podcast site, type in Trent Out Loud, the show will pop up. Don't forget to hit the follow or subscribe button so that you can be notified every time we upload a new show. And just like YouTube, I haven't said this in a while. Yeah, just like YouTube, we upload daily. Yeah, boom. Now, vice versa, for those of you who are used to watching the show on podcast platforms, thank you for your downloads. I really appreciate it. However, you got to come hang out on YouTube. The lives are over there. The Out Louders are over there. The comment section is lit over there. Come on over to YouTube, all right? When you get over here, just type in Trent Out Loud in the search bar. The show will pop up. A couple of things you're going to need to do. 1, you got to hit that subscribe button. 2, make sure you hit that like button because you got to get the algorithming. 3, please try to comment. I do the show by myself, but it's really with you. I'm here talking with you guys, having a conversation with you guys, and I love to hear your opinion and weigh in. This is a show that we do together. So if you guys don't answer or comment, I'm here talking by myself, and people are going to think I'm crazy, all right? So make sure you try to comment. For those of you who do not, I totally understand, but maybe just comment like, hey, watching from here or there. This is a global podcast, and I love to see where people are watching from. For those of you who are really enjoying the show, my true Out Louders, please try to share it with your family, friends, and loved ones, because it definitely helps us in growing the channel. And that is what we are here to do: grow the channel, grow the platform, and grow the community. For those of you who want to follow me outside of the podcast, I'm available on all social platforms, and it's always the same handle, Trent Out Loud. I'm the most active on Instagram. I post a lot of your comments in my stories, so make sure you follow me there. We also have a blog on Instagram called Out Loud Daily, because we out loud daily. That's what we do. So Out Loud Daily, that's where we'll post some stories throughout the day. And generally, those are stories that we'll cover in the daily and nightly podcast. And also, too, we also put some videos up there that we can't put on YouTube for copyright reasons, or we're short on time. We'll put the extended version on our blog page on Instagram, Out Loud Daily. So make sure to follow us there. All right, y'all. I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. Thanks for kicking with me, and I hope you have a great day. Peace! Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trent Out Loud. Peace!